I have my notes. We're ready, babes. When I got more aligned with who I am and what I want for myself and my future, there were some things that fell away. There are some things that I lost when I became my most authentic self. One of the things I lost was bad boundaries. I lost the part of me that just did not care about where my energy was going. I didn't care that people were siphoning energy from me. I didn't have the proper boundaries, and so I just allowed that to happen. So when I realized and I became more authentic, I stopped giving away my energy. I stopped giving away my energy to toxic people and toxic environments and toxic situations. I set better boundaries, whether that was in relationships or at work. I realized that I would have to be the one controlling that. I would have to be the one to put my foot down and say, you can't have this energy. I don't have this energy for you. My energy is for myself and for where I want and need to put my focus. Another thing that I lost was my people-pleasing behavior. We often get stuck in these situations where everyone, even if they don't have our best interest, everyone's opinions matter more than our own. We people please so that we can not have any conflict, so that we can keep it smooth and easy, so that we don't have to leave our comfort zone to feel emotions of conflict and lack of peace. So we people please. But when I became more authentic, I realized I didn't have to live for other people and I didn't have to live through other people. I get to live for myself, and it actually adds so much freedom and feels so much more fulfilling when you just don't give in to what other people's opinions are, because the truth is, like, their opinion might not even fit in or be aligned with where you're going in life. That's up to you. Another thing that I lost when I became more authentic was my fear of judgment. When I realized that no matter what people think about me, I am the one that is leading my life. I'm the one that's living my life. I'm the one that gets to experience and feel my feelings and create what I want to create and build what I'm building. That's my thing. It's really important that I can do those things that are aligned with me regardless of if somebody agrees with me or not. Because somebody could agree with me on a lot of things, and that is a really good support system. But if there is something that I know within me that I need to do that might be looked at a little funny, I have to be able to do that if I'm going to be my most authentic self. So that fear of judgment really dissipated when I stepped into my power and realized people will judge me. Some people will hate me. And that doesn't matter because I know what I'm here for. I know what I need to do. Another thing that I lost when I became authentically me was my victim mindset. I realized that my environment, my experience, and the things that I was going through were actually fully in control by me. What I mean is, I was not a victim to my circumstance. And even if I was, even if there was an oppressive energy and I was victimized in some way, I realized that it was only when I took responsibility for what wasn't working and decided to make those changes that I am not a victim, and staying stuck in a victim mindset is only going to leave me stuck, lost in somewhere where I don't want to be, and I am the only one that can get myself out of that situation. There isn't a hero that is going to come save me. The truth is that if I am being authentic and living my truth, or being authentically me, doing things that feel really aligned with my goals, then I can't be a victim to my circumstances. I have to master them and master myself and actually transform out of those. Another thing I lost were outdated dreams. Maybe there were some dreams that I had when I was younger that were based on what I was researching at a certain time, or what I was looking into, or what my friends' interests were, and maybe I was just following the crowd. I had these dreams, these ideas, and those things change over time. As I got older and I matured and I learned these lessons, I realized that some of the dreams and ideas that I had were just outdated. They just weren't going to work with me as I evolved, as I grew as a person. As I evolved my perspectives and my wisdom, my dreams needed to change with me. I am no longer the same person I was at 21 that I am now at 27. In fact, there's been a lot of transformation that has led to me realizing that some of the dreams I had that I put on the back burner are actually super important and need adapted, and some dreams just are not going to come to fruition anymore in the way that I viewed them. And that's okay. It's okay to change and to update your dreams and your goals as you grow. Another thing I lost were toxic relationships. When I stopped being a victim and I actually took ownership of my stuff, I had to realize then that the people around me were not always good. And I have struggled with some really toxic relationships and situations where it took me a really long time to really step into my power, to really give myself enough energy and willpower to actually cut the cord and end these toxic relationships. So when I stepped fully into my power, I had to cut out these toxic relationships. I had to remove these from my life because they would be very detrimental to anything I was trying to build or grow. And they were very detrimental to me in general. They were siphoning my energy, taking my resources, making me feel really insecure. And so I had to stop allowing that to make me a victim. They were not aligned anymore with where I was going and where I was heading, and I no longer wanted to be stuck, so I had to lose them, and I'm so glad I did. Something else that fell away was me sheltering myself. Meaning staying in my comfort zone too much, feeling like I need a security blanket. I stopped saying no to so many opportunities. I stopped being so afraid of experiencing new things, and it opened me up to really learning a lot more. I realized that a lot of what I need and a lot of what's aligned with me is stuff that I haven't even experienced yet. And I'm really open to allowing that. And that leads me into another thing that I lost, which was my old self-concept of being an introvert who is antisocial and doesn't like people and is really insecure. When I became more authentic, I became more confident in myself. I had less self-doubt. I trusted myself more. And that meant that my old self-concept, my old limiting beliefs had to go. Another thing I lost was my fear of failure. I was no longer afraid of taking a step that might have been flawed, because that is what is so important. We have to take some level of risk, right? So we have to feel the fear and do it anyway. You have to be okay with failing, because that's where we learn, right? So being open to experiencing something new, even if it isn't the thing that is going to be aligned with me, is so important, because instead of staying sheltered, I was able to experience things that gave me wisdom. No matter how many times you fail, it is one step closer to self-mastery. It's so important that I was able to grow into a person that will take 5 failures and learn something positive from them. Because past me would have gone through 5 failures and made it a part of my identity, made it a part of me as a flawed person, and let that be an insecurity. It's still there sometimes. Sometimes I pause before I make a decision because I'm scared, but it's really important that we're open to doing that, growing and learning from it anyway. The last thing that I lost when I became more authentic were my really unhealthy coping mechanisms. Now, these are different for everyone, but for me, these were things like having a bad relationship with food, consuming too many substances, trying to distract myself through video games or pornography. These are the things that fell away when I started trusting myself more and honoring the bigger call that I feel like I had in my life, the bigger purpose and the bigger potential. I was able to step more into my power to the point where I didn't have to run away from everything. I didn't have to distract myself from everything, but I could really face it head on and stop being a victim of what I was experiencing and really start to rewrite my story, my self-concept, and who I am. These things that I lost when I became my most authentic self, they are things that are important to lose, right? These things are things that we're all working on, and we're all on this journey of authenticity. But I just want you to remember, my love, that the right people and opportunities for you are waiting right on the other side of your self-doubt, right on the other side of your comfort zone. And you're so capable, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being here.